Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Artsume Shay, if you didn't know already. Welcome back to another video, and today's video is going to be a really great supplement for, just my continued work on my webtoon. There haven't been a huge amount of changes in my life, other than my hair. So yeah, new color, new do, and I think it's a really great change up and setting the course for all the stuff that I have going on for the future. So if you didn't already know, I currently have a webtoon that is upcoming and is called Space Ultima. If you haven't, of course, watched my previous video where I go into my story writing and story development process, definitely give that a view shortly after you watch this video. But that leads me to my point that if you are not subscribed already, that would be a really great thing to do, so that way you are getting updates on my videos when they're coming out. In today's video, we are doing a very chill, chill draw with me art style video. So yes, I will be doing a drawing and illustrating video today, and also checking in with a little bit of voiceover, talking about updates, talking about life, just even talking about the story itself without giving away too many details, of course. And even discussing, of course, a little bit of my artistic and drawing process. So if that's something that interests you, keep watching. Hello everyone, voiceover Artsume here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna be taking some time to do a little check-ins on some of the stuff that, I don't know, it's just on my mind really. It's funny because this video and the artwork was originally recorded at I want to say the beginning of August, and it is now September. So a lot of time has passed, and I'm just here to check in and chat in general. I guess it's kind of like a art podcast, like a visual podcast, but I've got my dog in my lap. She's super warm and cozy, which is great because I'm freezing right now. So I'm just gonna be talking and doing a little bit of just stream of consciousness about the stuff that we're seeing on screen right now. So first I'll go ahead and start with chatting about obviously what we are seeing here. But yeah, I feel like it's taken me a while, a lot of trial and error when it comes to how I chose to create my webtoon, Space Ultima. As you can see here, I'm using an app called Clip Studio Paint, and this is an app that I've had some ups and downs with. I first used it on an older iPad, and I didn't like really how it was working. It wasn't really my groove. So fast forward some time, and then I start working in the Procreate app, as I always do. And then I noticed that there are a lot of optimized features for drawing webcomics and webtoons in Clip Studio Paint. So I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta switch. I gotta do a little switcheroo. And that's actually when I ended up getting a screen tablet. So a screen tablet that can connect to my computer that I can work within there. And mind you, all of this I'm thinking in my head, I'm seeing what other artists are doing, and that's then gauging my decision, which isn't always, I guess, the best thing to do, but I go with it anyway. Spoiler alert, my screen display tablet is collecting dust as we speak, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I will say that I'm probably gonna need that sometime in the future, so I don't think it's a complete waste of money, especially because I did buy it. I think it was around a Christmas sale, and a lot of those websites will, put stuff on sale around that time of year anyway. So I got the screen display tablet, and it's not that it was bad or anything, but it's just something about breaking out my iPad
whether I'm at home, you know, at a coffee shop, on the road, and just being able to just draw and have everything that I absolutely need there. So that's ultimately where I'm at now. It's super versatile, super quick and reactive, and yeah, it's just like a device that does everything for me. This is in no way sponsored, of course. I'm not sponsored by Clip Studio. I'm not sponsored by Apple iPad in any way, shape, or form. I'm just, I guess, endorsing. So they are getting an endorsement for free from me. But yeah, I think that there are a lot of really cool shortcuts, really cool add-ons. They have an entire asset store. And so that's really where I get some of these, as you can see, the 3D models. And these 3D models are posable. They are completely available for me to, you know, just move how I want. And it's added much, I guess, quickness. It's just made my workflow a lot quicker. That, of course, doesn't replace knowing anatomy, understanding how things are supposed to, you know, how the body's supposed to move, you know, sketching to practice, references, etc. So that doesn't replace any of that, but at the same time, it's about working smarter, not harder. And it's also just, you have to have a certain quickness about comics, and that's something that I've learned time and time again. I also find it funny, I'm like recording myself drawing here, and I really feel like I don't know, I feel like I'm very clumsy when I'm drawing, and that'll be seen a little bit here and there as I'm making my piece. So what you're seeing here is a little bit of, I guess, a trial and error. There's some adjustments that I have to make. Sometimes I have an idea in my head on how something should look, and then it ends up not looking that way. So as you can see here, I am now reposing the character in a way that halfway makes sense. This is why it's always important to draw from references and to actually have, you know, some skills and understanding of the anatomy, because you'll want to do one pose and it's not humanly possible. It comes out in the end, like it definitely works out, but initially it just doesn't really come off how I wanted it to, and so I had to make some adjustments, and that's okay, because, you know, maybe that look wasn't exactly what it needed to be in the first place. now that we are drawing Sophie, why don't we talk about Sophie? So as you all know, this is the main protagonist of the story, and she is just someone who really kind of chose to be in her comfort zone for a really long time. She works at a convenience store. She has a sense of duty and loyalty to her grandmother, who took care of her from a very young age. So there's obviously a lot of stuff in her life that she wishes she could change, but ultimately she is just kind of fine with how things are, or she tells herself that she is. And I don't know, I think that the inspiration for this webtoon came at a very interesting time of my life, where I was also kind of striving for more and had a lot of questioning regarding how those things are going to happen. And there were a lot of things I think that happened in my life that were just amazing and fantastical and like surreal, and then only for you to then go back to reality. That song, Back to Life, Back to Reality, couldn't be more poignant. But yeah, that's just how I think things were feeling at the time. And yeah, I felt like that was a perfect time to start writing and coming up with my ideas for this character. And so after, going through the drawing board and coming up with revisions to my ideas and such, I ended up making Sophie, and the story that kind of serves, I guess, as a little bit of a metaphor for the things that I got to experience in everything. Yeah, so anyway, that's what her kind of inspiration was born out of. And I think that, I really hope that a lot of people can relate to her character, and I hope that this whole entire story really resonates with people in general. Alright, let's talk about Scorpio, and let's talk about the villain. Let's call her that. She, at this point in the comic, as of right now, she has been revealed kind of like in her introduction. And something that now that I think about it, I don't have a lot of experience writing villains or antagonists in a way. This character, I really wanted to make sure that we had a character on our hands who, yes, is a villain, is the push the antagonist of the story, but at the same time, you almost are like, well, dang, they have a point. Like, oh man, like, they're like kind of cool. And that's the thing that I really wanted to practice and try out with writing this character. Yes, Scorpio has a backstory. Yes, she has her own things that she goes through herself. So for me, I was like, we can't just have some cookie cutter character. Now, of course, there's going to be maybe things we recognize in Scorpio that we've seen in other villains in the past, and that's fine. But at the same time, it's pretty apparent that, oh, she is a breathing character. And when I say breathing character, I mean not like a surface level character in general. Like, that her motives make sense. Her reasonings for doing things make sense. And as you'll see if you join and subscribe to the WEBTOON, link in bio, then you will find out more about her reasonings for what she's doing. And is it necessarily that it's good or bad that she's doing it? Well, it's probably definitely bad because she has to be an obstacle for Sophie. But there's also some other threads that will be put together and tell kind of like the greater theme of the story. I also want to take this time just to chat a little bit about some life updates. So as of right now, of course, things are a little bit different from when I was recording this originally, but I got a new job. Obviously, I'm not gonna go too deep into the intricacies of that job, but yeah, I'm very happy. I feel right now like I am in a kind of like new life chapter in a way. I don't want to give I know this sounds weird to say, but I don't want to give all the credit to getting a new job. I think more so my last job I worked in for 6 years, and a lot happens in 6 years. I definitely can say I'm not the same person that I was at the beginning of my time at my last job than where I'm at now. So let's just put that out there. And I think that's why it feels like a lot of stuff is, changing, feels different, because it's like, closing and acknowledging the last chapter and then going into the next one. I'm very, I definitely give a lot of credit to therapy. And I'm not saying that as if, I was having to deal with anything that many people would consider, trauma or consider something of huge gravity. But at the same time, if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. And I'm so happy that I did, because there was a lot of, unlocking like my potential that I really needed. And I'm so glad that I was able to have somebody help me unlock that potential and make me realize, that I can forgive myself, make me realize that I do have the power to keep going. And if I fail on something, I can keep going again. So that was really helpful. So I think that really opened up the door for me to get back online, get back to making content, and ultimately start my webtoon and create the story. So I will say the thing that has probably plagued many creators is that you are a creator, but you also have a full-time job. That is the thing that is the hardest for me, because my content creation, my artwork, my webtoon and stories are, if you think about it, a full-time job. And I think that I'm trying to take baby steps and small steps every day to do at least something towards, completing a video or completing a task. Just baby steps, and as long as I'm doing something, no matter how big or how small, I am doing something that will benefit me in the next week. So that's something that I obviously am still working on balancing. I can't speak as if I am in the, I have all the answers zone, because I absolutely don't. And I don't think that anybody does. We all just know how to adapt, and we just recommend and support one another. So I am very, very, I want to say very starved for wanting this webtoon to be out. I'm trying my best to get as many episodes out and done as I can. Life happens, and I know that at the end of the day, I am the person who can forgive myself and who can say, you know what, I know that I said that I would have this out by X amount of date, but time is relative. No, I'm just kidding. But in reality, kind of serious, because I think that the deadlines I create for myself are created by none other than me. So yeah, I'm just really focused on this, and I just hope that the passion and the love is felt by all of you. really excited to talk about Zan. So Zan is, I would say, Sophie's foil. If you're familiar with screenwriting and the ideas of movie making, writing, etc., you have the foil, who they are a character who in many ways is opposite of your protagonist. And Zan, once again, I really wanted to make sure that he is a breathing, living, breathing character. He, honestly, he's probably a character who is most inspired by other characters more than some of the other people. If anybody is, a big fan of anime, you'll know that some of the more legendary anime, like, Cowboy Bebop and such. And I wanted to influence him. I wanted those, like, kind of Spike Spiegel influences. One, because he is just an awesome character. And two, because I feel like this is gonna sound weird, but I feel like Cowboy Bebop is an anime that made me kind of had me wanting more. I wanted to see more out of the characters. So they give you just enough, right? So I feel like this was almost my chance to kind of do a fan-written version of him. And I think that character transmorphed into Zan. So throughout the story, obviously he is his own character. At the same time, I think he also has some influences from some of these other characters that I mentioned. So I'm super excited about him. He is going to be probably one of Sophie's larger obstacles, but in the end, they are going to find out that there's actually much more they have in common, and that's when the trust is going to be built. So I'm super excited about it. Obviously, I'm going to hold my tongue. I have so much excitement about Zan and their interactions, and I don't know, maybe it's just something that you're gonna have to read to experience. And I'm smiling from ear to ear only because I have so many things in mind, and I have so many things that are already written. So yeah. So if you notice that the screen looks a little bit different, that is for a reason, because I also stream progress on the WEBTOON, on any drawings or illustrations on Twitch. So I have returned back to my Twitch channel. In the near future, I am fully focused on only doing art streams, just because I want to, showcase to everyone out there my process, chat with everyone, hang out, and have some company while I'm also working on my WEBTOON. So definitely check out the streams. I mostly stream every week unless I'm out of town or on vacation, and yeah, it's pretty much, I want to say, a live version of what I have going on right now in this video. If you couldn't tell already, Scorpio, she's a freaking baddie also. Like, that was another important thing for me, was that I had a villain character that had some style, had some swagger. Like, I'm thinking to myself, OG Disney villains, like Captain Hook, Dr. Facilier, you know, the Evil Queen. Like, yes, they were the bad guys, obviously, and had really no depth other than just to be evil. But they also had some of the best character design. Like, let's just be real. So I think for me, I was like, I really want my villain to not only be baddie, but also to have style, to look good. She really said, I'm here to kick butt and look good. So I'm pretty proud of Scorpio's character design, and hopefully we have some pretty cool outfits and looks in the future. I wasn't gonna keep this clip in. I was editing and seeing all of a sudden this clip, and I was like, you know what, I'll just keep that in, because I think that's another life update. Me getting a new furry friend in my life, and she is just the biggest cheerleader. She loves so deeply, and yeah, I definitely like coming home to my dog Willow on stressful days.
really hope that you enjoyed that video. Once again, please throw up a like on the video. That really means so much. I really appreciate the support, and if you support by subscribing, that's even better. I now have an Instagram page for the WEBTOON, so if you want to see some behind the scenes sneak peeks on the drawing process, some artwork, some teasers, then the WEBTOON Instagram is definitely where to find it. If you have any suggestions for future videos that you want to see from me, definitely let me know in the comments down below. These types of drawing, chit-chat videos are definitely something you can find on my Twitch channel. Okay, that's all for this time. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.